fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah.
My husband built will not die. It won't.
We're officially here.
What's going on?
I wanted everybody to relive that banger. If you haven't seen that live, go back, take a look. That's what kind of got me and Trev really cooking. But however, welcome everybody to the Roll the Bones podcast. This will be our first of many Saturday Court of Bones. We'll be joined shortly by Sergeant Cody Bowden. As usual, me and Trev got some huge announcements. But first and foremost, I want to thank all the mods, Amy, Red, Cass, Michelle, if you're in there. We appreciate you showing up. And I see a lot of people in the chat already. Vaz, I see Murph, Jules, Chrissy. Good to see everybody. So how you doing, bro?
It's been a long 24 hours, bro.
Listen, me and Aunt Arillotta had a blast last night. We definitely celebrated Halloween the hard way.
Yeah.
So lately, you know, I know I'm running a little slow. I'm a little under the weather. But me and Trev have been following a lot of the coverage of what Portland and the No Kings protests and all this fucking ridiculousness that's going on. Yeah. All right. So where do you want to start with that one? Just give your take on it, bro.
Well, firstly, I gotta do something with this light because if it keeps flickering, I'm gonna lose my shit. So give me 1 second.
All right. Antifa needs to be stopped. I'll at least add that while Brother Trev handles the light business. But no, the Antifa's out of control. They're sitting there. They're basically holding any community that they infiltrate. They hold them hostage.
Yeah.
And they're terrorizing these people.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You know, brothers of ours have gone out there and been documented. You know, the High Chief of the Wood Chipper Tribe, JD DeLay, has been doing extensive coverage of what's going on. You know, when Cody gets here, we're gonna take a look at some of JD's footage and also an interview that Nick Shirley had done with the head of Antifa
last night, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. But we have a big announcement we're gonna make it halfway through this thing. We'll make it. And I can't wait to talk about it. But there has been a lot of me and Trev we've been handling the business. We got a lot of great shit coming. But first announcement that I will throw out there: Wednesday night live, Money Mayhem and the Mafia. Me and Anthony Arillotta will be sitting down with Louis Casman, who's like basically the adopted son of John Gotti. That's going to be pretty wild. So whoever, make sure you don't miss that one. And I will throw that love and respect to Brother Gooch. Gucci's been a big supporter of this project since the beginning, since day one. I love you, buddy. And one thing I do also want to say is thank you to everybody that showed up, continue to show up. Much love to JD DeLay. Much love to Chloe Sunderland, Roma, for coming together and paying down that restitution. We can officially say that now that Trev's got a studio. if you notice, me and Trevor now in studios.
Yeah, we're doing things. We're doing things.
Yes.
Definitely big shout out to Chloe. I think, you know, she definitely helped us push getting that restitution all the way killed, dealt with. Same with JD. I pinned Jason's GoFundMe in his chat, and it was a matter of hours. It was a wrap after that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember talking to Michelle, and I was kind of like, I was completely floored by it. She was like, "Nah, I'm confident this is going to get handled by the end of the weekend," and
24 hours,
less than.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd say probably in all reality, probably handled in about 17 hours, give or take,
for sure.
But yeah, it shows the dedication and the that deep loyalty that these communities have with each other. Like, people need to realize that, like, this is a family. Like, you know, Jason built a family for everybody. And he is like, him and JD and Roma, these are his safe harbors for you to go in. And absolutely, me and Trev are here for that as well.
Absolutely.
And I mean, me and Trevor get a little unglued at times, you know, calling out high profile organizations that may or may not be tapping my phone.
Mine too.
I'm so glad you were with me when that happened.
Oh, people don't believe me, dude.
Yeah, me and Trev definitely, you know, I don't really care. I mean, at this point, somebody definitely tapped our phone in mid conversation.
Yeah. Oh, it was scary.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
You know, I've done prison time, man, and it's not your standard lady on the electric line like, this call is being recorded. No, no, it was not that. I can tell you that much. It was not that. Yeah. In fact, I think it was our first No More Silence live. It was right after that.
Yeah, within actually, was it? Maybe, I don't know.
It was either that night or the morning after.
I mean, dude, since I started this project, and you know, because you run inside the same circles, bro, we on about probably 50 federal watch lists at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I've talked to, you know, feds, you know, serious, mafia guys. Like, we've called out CIA, we've called out Mossad. Yeah, I'll say your name. I know you were listening. Like,
for sure.
But regardless, but back to the Antifa crap, you know, what's your take on all the bullshit with this No Kings nonsense? And
well, firstly, man, my big thing is they say they're not organized. They say they're, you know, the same type of anti-fascists that we had fighting in World War I, World War II. It's not correct. It's not right. These people are terrorists. If you want, just even if, I mean, it already is at a legitimate federal level, they are terrorists. But if you look at the definition of terrorism, right, and you look at what they've been doing to just the locals in Portland, you know, they're fucking terrorizing those households. Absolutely, all day. They're not letting them sleep. You know, I watched some dude give an interview, I believe, to, it was either Nick Shirley or Nick Fuentes or somebody, but they threw some sort of destructive device at him. I don't know if it was a Molotov. I don't know what it was, but he said they threw a bomb at me because he had a MAGA hat on and he lived across the street from the Ice Center.
So, what, they threw a bomb at him?
That's what he said.
Listen, like, I don't know, man. Like, they're Antifa at a base level. They're just fucking terrorists, bro. That's right. It.
Well, like I said, dude, if you are affecting someone's life or a group of people's life for what, close to 150 days now, every fucking night, all night, you're not letting these people sleep. I'm sure that, like, these people have gone full on. The first time I saw that building with its lights off was when Antifa got ran out by ICE and the right wing crowd just a week ago.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw the lights, every light in that building turn off before 4 or 5 in the morning.
What the hell?
So, I mean, that is terrorism, man, for sure.
Well, I mean, you look at everything for 10 years now. Like, it's been a decade worth of their bullshit. You know, and I know that, you know, with the crocodile fucking tears that these people spit over January 6th, and I witnessed the death of democracy, and blah, 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 like, and they fucking crying. These are the same just smooth-brained individuals that, you know, endorse things like map camp.
Yeah.
And allowing these young kids, look at California. California is basically the embodiment of hell.
Yeah. Shit, it looks like a third world country, and half of it looks like a third world country. Like, same with most
these
of the
are
West
the champions. Antifa, they pretend they're champions. They've been committing an insurrection since Inauguration Day 2017. They had DC damn near on fire. They were trying to disrupt that. Forget about the fucking Summer of Love with them and BLM just burning down everything. But what else? We had Baltimore. Portland has been on fire for a decade at this point, on and off. They've attacked federal officers at the ICE detention center, the LA riots over this summer. Even
Texas, they had shots fired at ICE detention center employees.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like a month ago.
You had the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk. And I say alleged because there's strange shit around that.
Too much strange shit.
The alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk ties to Antifa. Wasn't that clown the one they killed in Butler County? Wasn't he another one of the Antifa fanatics?
Yeah, I don't know if he was verified to be Antifa or not, but I believe self-claimed. Yeah,
some militant freak, anyways.
Right. Yeah,
and even that jackass they caught down near the golf course. So, but Antifa, like, it's kind of a good. Actually, this Antifa topic is actually kind of good because me and Trev do have I'm sure if you follow us up on social media, you've seen we do have a very controversial interview that's coming out later on this month. With Paul Miller, is also known as the Gypsy Crusader. Brother Cody just joined the chat. What's going on, bro?
What's up?
Cody, what's up, brother?
But as I was saying, we do have a very controversial interview with Paul Miller, who's also known as the Gypsy Crusader. Now, I don't necessarily agree with his heavy-handed approach and kind of wild nature, but Paul is a direct result of he was made by Antifa and BLM. And they ended up creating basically they're one of the ultimate villains, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real life DC story, or you know what I mean, Marvel, whatever the fuck. Like, he legitimately was a normal ass dude until Antifa and until BLM. And like, I've tried explaining this to my wife, Cass, who's in the chat, that this dude will never be the same. This isn't a fucking act. This isn't him, like, you know, portraying to, you know, trying to get under people's skins. Like, this dude got hammered in so many different directions, then went to prison over some bullshit, went to the feds over some bullshit, and literally became the most radicalized I have seen ever in real life talk, that hasn't gone out and committed a mass shooting, that hasn't gone out and tried to kill somebody important, that hasn't fucking, you know what I mean? The dude, real life, is one, I don't want to say he's one step away, but like, that's where he's at, you know, like, he could snap one of these days. And if he doesn't, I mean, he's already snapped, but like, if he doesn't, he might get so hot that he, you know, he'll Epstein himself, or, you know,
Oh, I mean, you kidding me? Paul's like, he's damn near radioactive.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
If that's why, like, no, you know, no offense to him, I love the dude and a lot of what he does. I feel for his story. I think it's a significant story because it can happen to anybody. I think he's definitely pretty extreme, but that's why I didn't want to do that interview with you guys, is he's too radioactive for some of the stuff I've got going on, man. I can't.
Right. Like, and it's like, and before anybody makes a judgment call, like Paul, I'll sit with anybody. The only type of individual I won't sit with is a pedophile. You know, like I've said before, I've talked to serial killers. I've talked with, you know, high profile members of organized crime. I'm willing to give everybody a shot, and I'll hear what you have to say, and I'll talk to you. Paul's story, in my opinion, is a tragedy.
Yeah.
And because he is a vicious result of Antifa they brutalized this man to the point that, even think about it this way, an unregistered handgun that he bought in self-defense because they were doxing him to such a degree, they were threatening his family. And when I mean they were threatening him, you are talking about extreme levels of doxing. Like, to the point, not even, they were taking pictures of his house. They were taking pictures of him on the street. They were, you know, threatening his family, threatening the gym, the people in the gym that he was going to. So you're losing everything just because he was an independent journalist.
Mm-hmm.
And then the feds rolled in on him. 70 federal agents in full tack gear, 2 tanks, 1 outfitted with a battering ram and a Black Hawk helicopter to snag him at 5 a.m. for an unregistered handgun.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
You know, when I watched that, I honestly, it's like, I don't want to say it, it's heartbreaking. Like, it's not tear jerking, but it pulls at your heartstrings, man. You're like, dang, dude. Like, just imagine being in a situation when you're like, take my phone and run, because you know the only way you can get your story out that you were there for is if that chick takes off. You know, and like that's just wild. Like, if you can't feel for anybody at that point, like you're just not listening to the story. Like, if you can't put aside, like, I would be interested to hear like what a true Antifa person, you know, what radicalized them. Like, I guarantee 99.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah,
you know, it's not, I tell you, I got jumped by 50 white dudes in the middle of New York, and they all got off after all the cops told on them. You know, like, I've reached out to several, and I've either been like, they read it and they leave you on it, or they tell you to fuck off, or you're a Nazi, you're a maniac. Like, it just all I asked was a simple conversation. Like, right. But you know what? And I extended the same offer to Paul Miller, and Paul said, yeah, you know, let's talk. And like, if he's willing to have a conversation, you know, and he has sat with plenty of people of opposing viewpoints. Like again, I'm going to go out there. I don't necessarily agree with the heavy-handed approach and the wild nature of it. However, like, Paul's entitled to tell his story as well. Right. And if some, you know, one of these radicalized leftists would like to sit down and talk with us, I would absolutely, the door's open.
I do know that JD just had an interview with an ex-Antifa member.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's always something that we could look into, see if he wants to go a little bit further into his story, because I don't believe they really touched fully on, you know,
him. It was more
right.
Organization, wasn't it?
What was JD's takeaway in that?
I mean, he seemed like JD. I can't directly quote him at this time, but he said, man, like, seemed like a normal dude who was going through some normal shit and situational, you know, just how the situation's fucking simmered down, you know, got wrapped up in this bullshit. And I guess it was so what I can say from that interview is dude did say that he found it himself. He chased after it. He wanted to get involved with it. And I guess the person that just so happened he had the closest connection to or was able to get involved with was getting gang stalked, allegedly. And it just brought him down a fucking rabbit hole that got him real deep real fast.
He was like the guy was getting gang stalked, and that's how he got radicalized.
Well, no, so he got radicalized by another member who was getting gang stalked and was just completely like, he thought that this dude was a Fed for, first X amount of time.
Right.
So, I mean, but it happens on both sides, man. And Cody, you're right. It's not tear jerking, but it's fucked up. It's like, man, I've definitely came at on my way to prison with that sort of force that Paul came at. I'm not going to sit here and tell the whole fucking circumstance, but like I got hit harder than I've seen, you know what I mean? Anybody, and it realistically, like not for that crazy of shit, definitely a little more intense than an unregistered handgun, but
yeah,
it's not like I fucking killed somebody. It's not like, I did anything super, super crazy. And it's crazy to just see the reaction because people don't, man, like I've got PTSD just from that. Like, they were told I had a firearm in the vehicle. I was in the back seat and I had a rubber baton round put through that window that I was directly next to so fast. And I was ripped out of the car and on the cement before I could realize what happened. And like, man, like that shit was absolutely crazy. And I can see how for some people, even just that in itself, getting hit with, sure, I might be out here selling some drugs or doing some bullshit I'm not supposed to be doing, but to see law enforcement, when you think, okay, law enforcement is supposed to fight terrorism, especially when you're talking about marshals and, other task force, it's like they're supposed to be out here doing way different, like you think, why would they come after me? And so I think that in itself can be a radicalization for some people. I know that it definitely made me not like that particular cities and city and counties police very much. And that was the either second or third time I dealt with the marshals, but that shit's scary, dude. And especially when like you think your life is in danger, that can radicalize anybody.
Right. What's your takeaway, Cody?
Similar to that. Mine's I wouldn't say I'm radical, but I'm definitely white. I don't really care what your skin color is, but I'm proud of who I am. Even though I'm Native American and German, but still, I consider myself white at the end of the day. But coming from the Army, like I clearly had no racial division in me. I really did. I wasn't raised that way. I didn't grow up around any of it. I knew what Swazis were. I knew what Nazis actually were. I knew what, true like white gangs were back in the day, Hell's Angels, stuff like that. But when I got wrapped up, like I was doing bad guy shit, deserved to get put down like I did.
Right.
But when I hit the military, when I hit the point, I was military. As soon as anybody found out anything about me and ran my name, like the Crips were on me tough. Like it was so fucking tough. The Crips were on me because I was like, well, I'm not racist, dude. I'm not joining the white gang. Like, and this isn't county. So like you got boneheads in county, not even like legit dudes that have keys to a yard.
Right.
It's not the same. So like
not at all.
Prison politics, Trevor, know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, the Crips though, they're deep in county because they don't do anything stupid enough to go to the prison. Most. Yeah. And I got threatened, and I got a blade pulled on me in county twice because I said no to being a Crip. And it was the only reason why is because I was one of two actual white guys, and I soon got moved into the pod with an affiliated white boy at the time, and he was A&P. And at that point, like it was tough because like I went in there not having a problem with anybody of any other skin color, but when I'm behind those walls, fuck you if you're not white. Fuck you. That's all there is to it, because so fast you get turned on. And
It's brainwashing for sure. I mean, you and I have done time in the same facilities. We know a lot of the same cats. They take it to a whole nother level really, really fast. I wasn't like, I was not really into anything crazy before I went in. And when I was in, I definitely got enthralled in prison politics, and because there's really no way not to, depending on the yard you hit and the people you're fucking around with. But I mean, Cody, in your situation, man, yeah, you end up with hanging out with two members of AMP. They're definitely on the more radical side of the spectrum when it comes to our politics here in Colorado.
Yeah.
For white gangs and Caucasians, and then the Woods as well. They are pretty much, they're not the biggest by any means, but they are the most radical. They are the dudes with swastikas all over fucking everywhere. They're the dudes that are really real deal, not just in prison but out of prison about that shit.
Yeah.
And so they're definitely radicalized. So I'm not surprised that that's kind of the way it turned out for you, brother. I mean, I'm not at this point willing to share my story about the shit, but I totally can understand that completely.
Yeah. That's the big.
Yeah.
And I look at his situation, and it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he even said that he had the cops, he had everybody wrote, I mean, there were statements, he did the legal thing, Paul did, is what I'm talking about. He got jumped, and two guys jumped in and helped him, right? That girl came back with two guys, helped him out. And then those two guys, the cops wrote statements, the two guys wrote statements, he wrote statements, like everything was on a silver platter for the DA.
Right.
It was like nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
one thing for sure, though, Paul had told me, and everybody's going to see it soon. Paul had told me, like, he doesn't want there to be a race war.
No,
like he doesn't want this political civil war to happen. He said, unfortunately, people are so polarized in our country, that he looks at it, almost views it as a runaway train. Like this is already off the rails. It's just a matter of time, because he's like, look, it's not good for anybody to have this happen, but he just happens to he chose a side. That's it.
Yeah.
But like anybody that dares buck this system in any form of way, or even have the audacity to question it, unlike not just Paul Miller, I can't remember her name. She was probably like early 30s, Indian woman who questioned Jeffrey Marsh. And I fucking hate Jeffrey Marsh. And I don't care who's listening, who likes him. I fucking hate that guy. He's a fucking weirdo. He was the one that was doing all that weird, all right, these videos are for the kids, a creepy ass bastard.
Yeah.
Like, but she said there's something not right with this guy, and they all went after him. This poor woman. Telling, like, sending her messages, oh, we know your kids are go to this school, like threatening her kids.
Yeah, that's too much.
Like, but this is what we see in this world. You both know that these fucking child predators, they gang together, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like, and but and it makes me feel bad. And it's like if we could find out who she is, maybe we could try to do something to help her out or something, because I know, like, I think the doxing just kind of ended recently or within the last year or something, but she was so scared. She felt almost basically did an apology video, like having a gun to your fucking head. Like, that's not cool, man.
No.
You tortured this one woman for calling you out for being a fucking weirdo. I'm calling you out, Jeffrey, for being a fucking weirdo, and I'm not going to go anywhere, and I'm not some young woman. So fuck off. I feel better saying that out loud.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck them.
This ain't the community to fuck around with. I promise you that.
Biggest thing with race war, sorry to cut you off. Like,
no, go for it.
Is like, it's not even like, I truly don't think we would have a race war, it would definitely be civil, and it would be red versus blue. And then the most unfortunate part about that is blue is so polarized and weird, like not in the right ways, right? They're not grounded in their beliefs. They're so fluid in everything that they think. They don't have a core belief for what they're actually standing on, you know? Like when I say I'm a conservative man, that's because I'm Christian based, because that's because I believe in saving children and protecting children, and everybody in this that's listening to us, and the three of us raise our kids how we want to raise them, you know, and whatever that means to that person. I don't care how you raise your kids. I care how I raise my kids, and I want to raise my kids the right way. You know, like last night, we had on the porch a bunch of candy, right? And we were putting the babies down, so the candy bowl was set out so nobody would ring the doorbell. Well, at the beginning of the night, I put out candy and I put out a bunch of baby Jesuses that are like this big, right? Craziest thing happened last night. Kids actually took a singular baby Jesus off the porch, no candy, and took off. Some took both, which I don't care, but you know, I had a ton of candy out there all night long. We went trick or treating, and we left it out there. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like it made it up until like 9:38, and at 9:38, two little girls show up and they're not
young.
They're middle
young.
school.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw the video, dude. They looked young, man.
And this girl's like, it's the end of the night anyways. And they have pillowcases or trash bags full of candy already, and they clean me out. Now, here's the thing. When I posted the video to my Facebook group for our friends around here, I said, hey, I want to know who the parents are because I want to talk to them. Because this isn't right. You know what I mean? This stuff has got to stop. Stuff like, and somebody's like, oh, whoa, you're putting kids on the internet. And I'm like, well, it's a private group for one. And guess what? Maybe keep your kid off of my camera. Because here's the deal. Once you're on my camera, you know, it's nothing crazy. They're wearing hoods and she turns and sees her face a little bit. But, you know, the fact that like all these kids came to the door and made all these better decisions than two. And it just, I know the mom, we figured out who they were very quick. And crazy enough, they're from a colony of prisoners. Their mom is Australian. How wild that she acts like this and doesn't care that the cops are at her kid's house, you know? And like her son is just out there. Like, this kid runs into traffic and wearing all black, scares women getting out of their cars in other neighborhoods, you know what I mean? Like, just acts out. But the thing is like, I don't go tell her how to parent, and I allow her to parent how she wants to parent. And as bad as it sucks, it is what it is, you know? And the way you raise your kids and the way that, you know, Trev does everything he does, that's what we want as conservatives. But that's why we believe what we believe, right? If you go,
you know what?
They don't
Not to cut you off, but I think it isn't even like, I think Anthony had said this to me the best. Like, now he said there are Democrats or Republicans, and then there is the party of common sense.
Right.
Now you can lean in either direction, you know, you choose, but if you cannot exercise common sense, then you're a fucking problem. Like, and I put this out there, like, if you support child predators, if you are willingly voting in pedophile politicians or people that don't campaign, or you repeatedly put people in positions, you're not exercising common sense. You're just expressing how stupid you really are. Like, I cannot for the life of me, and I hate to, I don't hate bringing up Gavin Newsom, but what happens in California people need to focus on that shit, because that is we're a bad afternoon away from that becoming the rest of the United States if left unchecked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so they're not riding for anything. They're not exercising common sense. You're voting the devil into office. The homeless problem is out of control out there. The drug problem is out of control. The amount of missing kids, the amount of sexual abuse and nonsense that's coming out of fucking Hollywood, and then we have to stop this fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like Jason had said, if it starts in your communities. You have to start making those changes in your communities.
For
We need
sure.
to
You
start,
got to police your own community, dude, like at the end of the day. Because
and
who else is going to do it?
I hope, and I don't care. Like these people, like these monsters, they need to know, like, recognize the face, because I promise you, if I catch you getting fucking weird in my neighborhood, bro, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
Yep.
facts.
Like straight up. We need to shut these fucking monsters down. Shut them up. We need to start. All right, these politicians been there for 10,000 years. Let's get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But what's also concerning to me is the staggering rates of despair that just run through this, with cost of living being so high. People questioning when's the next time they're gonna fucking eat. It's the crime rates, everything, and the more you make it so hard for people to just function and just live a normal life, crime is only going to skyrocket. Because to be fair, not all crime is motivated just because you're into breaking the law. Like a lot of crime is motivated on survival.
I'd say most crimes. I mean,
For sure.
Start.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the drug addicts, man. Like you could argue that all of the crimes I've ever committed and been found guilty of are drug crimes, even though they all weren't like possession of a substance. Like I was on drugs. I was going to get my drugs anyway. It came down to it. If you try to take my drugs, I'm going to protect my drugs. Like drug crimes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it was, to me, being an addict, it was a necessary thing. I was a heroin addict for a long time. Like I did what I had to do to make sure that I could feed my habit, because heroin isn't one of those things that you can just do and then not do. It becomes your lifestyle. It becomes your food. It becomes your water. It becomes fucking everything to you.
Yeah. Like, I never understood, because I never got, hooked on it like that, or like really messed up on drugs. So I never understood like the addict mentality. You know what I mean? Like that would it, like a friend of mine, actually a lot of friends of mine have died from it, but there were some that, like, I remember his dude used to laugh about, like, he would like just steal, like, he would just like go to some old lady's house and just basically just steal shit out of her shed. And it's like, damn, like, you're openly laughing about fucking screwing somebody over. And unfortunately, I know a lot of drug addicts that were like that. So it's hard for me. Like Trev, me and you have talked about this before several times. Up until I met Jason, Jason was the beginning of me kind of letting go. Like I had just absolute contempt, like for drug addicts, for that, just the amount of people that died. I mean, a friend of mine he was ODing, instead of helping him, they robbed him. They let him die right in a homeless shelter. Like, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, but I just don't understand, like, what is like the psychology, like, in those moments. But
dude, it's not. I mean, I think that's why we put the term addiction to it, right? An addict. And, you can just say what you're going to say about it, but there is no way, like, I can't, I know Cody's been an opiate addict before. Him and I can have a complete conversation where we 1,000,000% completely understand what each other's talking about. And to somebody who hasn't been there, like, it's not going to click. It's not going to make sense. It's just not. Like, you can like wrap your mind around it to a degree, right? But you're not going to realize, like, how bad it really is. And what, like, when you say you will do anything to make sure that you're going to be all right, AKA still high. Like,
yeah.
Nobody, like, unless you've been there, like, there's no way that you're gonna get it. Like, granted, would rather go sick than like go fucking smoke somebody. Definitely didn't go do that. But
Right.
like, besides that, you know, there's pretty much no end to, and I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, you know, well, I'm positive a lot of people have actually killed somebody over it. Like, I just thankfully never got to that point. Like, I always had a way to, you know, get a front or to sell some shit or to, you know, do what I needed to do, hustle enough to where I stayed high, and I let, you know, I was selling simply to keep myself high, and have a little bit of pocket change. There is no way of telling somebody who's not an addict, especially with opiates for sure, like more so than anything else, what that is like, unless you've been through it. And once you've been through it, like, we can have a conversation to where we're both going to fully understand to the utmost, like, to the point of so there's something called euphoric recall.
Right.
And I don't know if people who aren't, you know, sober or haven't ever done drugs really can understand what it means. But like, I could have a conversation with Cody about getting high, or about doing something while I was high, or, you know, whatever. And like, I'll literally get the hair on the back of my neck standing up, or for a split second, I will feel like I'm fucking high. Like, just a flash interval, just super, super quick. And it's crazy, dude.
And that's the same with being dope sick too.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, if you see somebody that's dope sick or something that reminds you of like,
and you flash to getting dope sick, yeah.
You're nauseous and you're like about to have, and you're like, damn, you're like about to fall out and you're sober.
Right.
Yeah, I've definitely helped detox several people. And it's fucking crazy, bro. Like, I mean,
it's hell, dude.
Yeah, man. Even years ago, you know, I got fucking hooked on benzos, and from a doctor, bro. Like, and because every time I didn't realize you can't just take yourself off the meds, so they had to put me in a detox. Thank God my fucking roommate was a drug addict, because he's like, hey, this ain't my first rodeo, homeboy. So he like, but that was just pure fucking hell, bro, getting off of it. And I thought it was my anxiety, but it was, a problem is I was feeding for the drugs that was making me anxious. And not like, you know that feeling of like just having to know like you have it on you is almost sometimes calming.
For sure.
And it was crazy because even you know, I was asking all kinds of people, like, if I knew they had something, you know, like, yo, you know, hook me up or whatever, because I'm fucking blasting through my fucking supply. But I never, that was kind of where it pumped the brakes for me, bro, because you know I can't smoke like that. Like, I started bugging out, and everybody I knew was getting hooked on dope, which ultimately killed like pretty much the vast majority of my friend group. Yeah, a lot of them were killed by heroin or fent in recent years. But yeah, man, like, I'm glad I was able to break it. And bro, like, I'm fucking proud of you, because, you know, you put the work in, and like, you know, look at it. You got a wife, you got a beautiful family. Like, you're doing so good for yourself. You know, we got this thing of ours over here. You know, we're taking off. But I'm proud of you, bro. Like, I really am.
It's a lot. Hey, and I gotta say too, man, benzos ain't no bitch. So you did all right too. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking, it is what it is, bro. Because that was my most recent thing, was like, you know, coming out of prison, bad PTSD, you know, just so happened to have a doctor who was like, here. And I had to do the same thing. Like, I wasn't abusing them, but when you're getting prescribed an obnoxious amount of benzos a day, you don't need to overindulge. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be fucked up regardless. Like,
right.
And, yeah, it's bad. That's one of, you know, so coming off of methadone can kill you, despite what some people say. Coming off of Xanax or benzos in general, Klonopin, even Valium, can kill you. and then coming off of alcohol, man. And when you look at those three things, you're looking at a drug that is majority used to get people off of heroin. You're looking at the most common drug in the world that is readily available, which is alcohol. They don't advertise crystal meth on the TV, crack cocaine, you know what I mean? But they'll advertise prescription pills and alcohol all day. And then, you know, the last one being a pharmaceutical, being, you know, Xanax, Klonopin, whatever, which is supposed to be, you know, something that helps people with PTSD, that back in the day was mommy's little helper because she couldn't fucking stand all these kids, so she's got to pop a fucking Valium. You know what I mean? Like it's these are the three things that at the end of the day will fucking kill you. And it's not like, oh, sure, you're not messing with heroin, but guess what? Like, coming off of these things has a high potential to kill you if you don't do it right. That's why you go to detox when you come off of benzos. That's why you should, if you're tapering methadone, you should definitely do it under the supervision of a provider. It takes fucking years, depending how high your dose is. Even Suboxone, I haven't really heard about much deaths except for rare instances and people mixing shit and whatever, but it's still no good. It's still something that, like, I have my own, you know, I've been clean 9 years and take subs, and I don't feel anything off of them. I have no need to be on them anymore, and I'm scared shitless of coming off of them because I don't want to be dope sick off of something that I haven't fucking had to worry about. And so people can say, okay, are you really sober then if you've been taking subs? Well, it doesn't get me high. I don't abuse it. You know what I mean? The only thing it does is I got on it to keep me from relapsing. And unfortunately, the way this particular pharmaceutical company figured out how to make a chemical is, you know, it's got a very high affinity in your brain to where, and then it's got a top shelf. So you can take a handful of the shit and it's not going to make you feel any difference if you've been on 3 pills for your whole life, for, you know, 5 years, your whole time doing it. You could take a handful and it's not going to make you feel any different than if you take those 3 pills. So you get to a point where you don't feel anything off of them. And it happens very quick because you're not supposed to. MAT, medically assisted treatment, you're not supposed to feel shit. It's supposed to be a replacement for people who cannot live without an opiate to live without an opiate until they can taper off. And at this point, they're not tapering people off. They're not doing shit.
Well, and it's a hot take, and I'm kind of curious on both of your opinion on this. I know it's a hot take for a lot, bro, but I think that we need to move forward towards the abolition of the methadone clinic because
I agree. Yeah.
Ultimately, it's liquid. Like a friend of mine refers to as liquid handcuffs, but you're trading you're making the government your drug dealer, and you're still buying heroin anyways.
They're fading. They're fucked up.
They're fucked up. I have a family member, man, that if you didn't know that this particular person was on methadone, you would swear to God they were on fentanyl or heroin. Because they're knotted the fuck out. Like, and it's no different. That's why I personally went with Suboxone, because it's not the same as that. It's got that high affinity in your brain. It, you know, it's got a ceiling. It's the ceiling effect. I apologize. It's called the ceiling effect. To where I know, okay, I can't abuse this once I've been taking it as prescribed for years. Not even years, excuse me. Like, you know, once you're level on it, like, you're not going to get high off of it again.
3 days.
Until, like, it's going to take some time. You know, like, if you want to try to get high off of it, you're going to have to spend a long time not taking it. And by the time that's happened, you might as well just go get a bag of dope. Why the fuck are you going to go do some Suboxone? That's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. But no, I think absolutely. I think if not so much, I think Suboxone, I think the current highest dose you can be on is 3 8-milligram strips or tablets a day.
Right.
I think that needs to be lowered to 2 for now, you know what I mean, and see what happens. But as far as methadone goes, because methadone will fuck you up. And the thing is my family member that I just mentioned, they have gone multiple times. They don't need to up this dose. They're on fucking 300 milligrams of the shit. It's not, you know what I mean? They just get the dose upped so they can catch a knot easier. Like, it's ridiculous. That is not what this shit is meant for whatsoever.
Yeah, man. But what's your take, Cody?
You know, mine's the same. I'm on Suboxone too, and the reason I'm on Suboxone is because best way I can describe it to anybody is like after being high on dope, like you just want to be high, and after you're off of it, like when you get sober after years of opiates, of whether it's pain pills or heroin,
Right.
From opiates, like you just don't feel right. Like you have a hard time finding happiness. You know, and you just want to be high. Like it's a struggle because literally you've altered the chemicals in your brain permanently for the rest of your life. They've proven that. So then, like, so when I came out of the joint, like I was starting to get anxious. I was around everybody and I didn't want to fuck up. So I started taking it. My buddy was like, here, take one of these. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, no. I was like, I don't, I was in the halfway house. And he's like, no, they won't test you for it, man. It takes a 12 panel. I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, I've been on this shit forever and they haven't caught me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And so I started taking it, but like it literally basically takes that little demon on my shoulder. And it's like, boink, the one that's in my ear, like, let's go get fucked up. Let's go do this, dude. Like, you're happy. Let's go get high. And boink, gone. And literally, Trevor, it's 100%. Trevor's right when he says like it's not even high the first time you take it. Like if you haven't taken it in a long time and you take a bunch, you'll feel high, but not compared to like a shot of heroin, right? You're like halfway there, and then it wears off. But if you take it 3 days in a row, you're cooked. Like you're not going to get anything out of it. Like there's no abuse effect after that. The heart. Right. They chemically engineered this drug to have the affinity that is so high that the body's like, I got this trashy heroin or opiates in my system over here, and I got Suboxone. It's like, I want this. So it overrides and coats this, your receptors, which also makes you feel more at peace, I guess. You know what I mean? Like you don't have that desire to go get high. And at the same time, like allows you to function. But the hard part is it's even more difficult to kick Suboxone.
Right, it's way harder.
What they didn't tell us all is that it eats your teeth worse than meth.
Right.
Damn, yo.
Yeah, hot take. These are fake. You know what I mean? My shit's wrecked.
It wasn't drugs. It wasn't the drugs.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even with drinking, like now this is not some. Don't try, like, not everybody can do it this way, but I had that's one thing I could say, actually. It's like I used to have a problem with drinking. Now I can go out and have a couple drinks and be okay, but sometimes, bro, like, if I'm drinking, bro, I could fucking still drink. Like, right. Last night, absolutely. But I used to drink it to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Just because sometimes, and that's the thing, it's going to lead, I'm going to continue this on. We are going to make our big announcement right now because it actually ties in with this. I know this live, we were talking about Antifa. We got on drugs. We called Jeffrey Marsh a fucking weirdo, and I stand on that statement.
Still
fucking
do,
weirdo.
Yeah.
But, give me 1 second to load it up. But no, I think, having that fucking struggle, with alcohol, bro, it brought me to a lot of dark places, and so I want people. This is going to be our big announcement right here. November 9th, probably our biggest interview. This got set up, put together. Brother Jason came through, surprised me, paid me back because I started crying like a bitch. No, I'm just playing, but no, he But Jason surprised me with this thing. November 9th, live on this channel. We'll be sitting down with this.
Troubling new data from the U.S. government today shows more than 49,000 people have committed suicide in the United States this year.
1,058 people committed suicide last year, making Colorado 7th worst in the country. Men account for 75%.
I'm tired of people asking me, Why bother? Why advocate for men?
Have been. I feel like men have always, because if you look at what like the alpha male is, it's
designed for single fathers to fail.
Today, investigators announced arrests in connection with the killing of 12-year-old Jacqueline Torres Garcia.
Women are the #1 killers of their children in America every year. They are the most to abuse their children and the most to kill them.
Girl's mother, Carla Garcia, and charged her with murder.
I not only grew up in social services, but I grew up on the streets. And where I'm from, if you're a woman on the streets, you either man the fuck up or you get pimped out. You're very abrasive and disrespectful, and I'm the wrong fucking one.
If there's somebody watching this video right now who feels the same way I do, but maybe you are not alone, okay? I know that every single day is a struggle, and I encourage you, I implore you, and I beg you to please continue pushing for me.
But my name is Roma, and I am your big sister now.
Good, bro.
I know, right? I am so proud and honored, and she is somebody that actually means a lot to me. She means a lot to this family. She I was saying before, November 9th, me and brother Trev sitting with our little big sister Chloe Roma. I cannot wait. We're gonna have a good conversation. Talk about all kinds of stuff. Kind of get her takes on issues going on in the world, and especially with the suicide rates going up, and the people that are really struggling every day. And one of Roma's videos, the one I purposely cut it in there at the end, I struggle with that shit for years. The anxiety, the depression, and I even just hit the wall myself. And I promise you, if anybody in this chat in our community is struggling with some shit, bro, like, you can DM me direct, and I will respond. Brother Trev will respond. Like,
absolutely.
Brother Cody will respond. Like, sometimes a simple conversation with somebody can save someone's life. And this is like, when I was struggling with my drinking, for me, it's when it's the most quiet is when it's the loudest. And I would drink just to go to sleep, just so I can sleep. And I have it's tough, man. Like, there was plenty of times that I thought about taking my own life, and it's an up and down thing. And I live with the shame of that for a long time. Like, that, it's not something to be ashamed of or be afraid to talk about. It needs to be coming. Roma is literally that spear, the tip of that spear, like, in trying to help other people. And I'm so fucking blessed and honored that we're going to sit down. And I also, one thing, and a lighter side of it too, I saw her post a reel that has nothing to do with the advocate side of it, but she posted something about Red Dead Redemption. So I'll absolutely ask questions about that. Like, I ride for Arthur Morgan. I ride deep for Arthur Morgan. But no, like, seriously, if anybody in our family, or if you come across this, you find this video, you watch back this live, I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I love you, and we ride for you through and through. Like, I'm a man of my fucking word, and so is Cody, and so is Trev.
Yeah, we're fucking here.
This is like a lot of I promise you, inside of this sphere, if you go to Rome, like, if you're a member of Roma's army and you're here, we love you. If you're part of the One Light family, we love you. And if you're part of the Wood Chipper tribe, we love you. I think, Red raised an interesting statement recently. We have to come up, like, the community, name yourself. You have to, we're building name yourselves. I'm not going to name it. Like, I did joke with Trev. We can't be coming in here saying howdy boners. That, like, that just.
Yeah, that don't work.
Yeah, that just sounded a little weird, but yeah, man, like, that's good. That's going to be a really interesting and interesting set of, like, conversation. So I hope, Show up, come out in full force.
Definitely come. It's going to be a big one, man. Biggest we've done. I think it's going to open the doors for us extensively on a lot of, in pretty much every direction, you know. And I'm hoping that one of those doors is the community understanding that we are here. You know, I get that right now we may be small, we may know or have relationships, whether it be online or physically, with a lot of the people we're involved with. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're here, you're valid. You need to be listened to. You need somebody to say, you need somebody to talk to. We're fucking here.
Yeah, like, you know, we've done this for people before. Like, if you know, people have in our family have even outside of these circles have approached us. I've had people approach me, and I know it's probably come up with you, Trev, for sure. You know, people that just they see me or you or Amy or Michelle in the chat, and they find I mean, it's easy to find me. But you know, I've had some late conversations, early morning conversations with somebody just going through some shit, and trust me, to those that I'm referring to, like, I'm very humbled and by the fact that you trusted me enough to tell me what was going on and tell me your story. And this will be a thing until the end of this thing. Like, I will always make time for you if you're going through it. I promise you that. And like, I'm very blessed, you know, to have the encounter that me and Trev, like, you know, it's crazy. Like, a year ago, this was a flicker of an idea. It was you know, I was making the beginning moves, sitting right in this room. I was sitting, making the beginning stages of what would become something so much bigger than I can even fathom or understand. And yeah, you see the small numbers. We're a growing platform, still getting started, but like the amount of love and respect, you know, Anthony Arillotta has become one of my closest friends. I absolutely love the guy. Fucking Jason Vukovich brought me into a family that I needed. You know, Michelle and Amy, and you know, we break fucking Amy. I know me and Trev break your balls.
Yeah.
You know, I know we bust your fucking ass, but we love you. But I like this little fucking, like, we're a happy crew of fucking crazies and misfits and nuts. But you know, I see, you know, our sister fucking Chrissy over here, like, you know, fucking love her. Like, she is definitely, you know, me and her have had some late conversations, breaking each other's balls and stuff like that. And I promise you that Chrissy Mendez is one of the realest motherfucking people. She, like, I've seen her hammering bastards in Jason's lives. She's the one. She could say some of the stuff that I can't say. But
well, and it starts, man. Like, you know, I think that we've been able, thankfully, there's been a small handful of us that have been able to go. I've personally got to thank JD Delay 5150. That's my brother. We got something in the works for him too, just throwing it out there. But you know, we wanted to make sure after we got the number of petitions signed for Jason's release and all that cleared and everything done, that when he got out, that he had an internet presence and he had all that. So we, you know, JD built his channel, not the whole channel, but the foundation of it. You know, made sure that we had enough subscribers for him to be monetized when he got out. Made sure we fucking jumped that heat up on every, you know, cooked it the way it needed to be cooked, to where, you know, he was able to, without fully knowing what he was doing, was able to do what he's doing now. And it, you know, I feel like there's been a small group of us that's been able to kind of go back or to and from, you know, every community and make sure that everybody's good and it continues growing. I know that Chloe got brought into the mix for JD and for Jason, I think about last year for both of them. Might have been 2 years for JD. And then, I think subsequently, Jason from JD, like as well, just, making sure that connection was there. And now we're here. What people don't get is, sure, we may have a small channel, we have small numbers, but people's jaws would drop if they knew what the fuck we have lined up. They have no idea.
Listen,
it surprises me.
You both. I talk to you guys all the time. You guys are we're a brotherhood. This is a bond that can never break. I promise you that. Like, the network, you see the number, these numbers, bro. Like, for a small platform started, take a hard look at our network. You can see it, and I still talk to these individuals frequently. Anthony Arillotta, John Alite, Greg Scarpa Jr., Jason Vukovich, Death Threat West and Burning Hearts, Travis Ritchie, the Gucci Boomer, brother Gooch. These are all people that give a shit about society. That I promise, and they're also, not people you really want to fuck around with. I promise you that. But these are blessings. We did it the right way. We built bonds with people, and that's the important thing. You can't ride inside of this business and it's not always just about churning the content. The content will come. We're building this plane while we're flying, but I'm so fucking blessed. And even JD Delay, he's somebody I've looked up to, and JD, he's somebody that, like you said, he helped Jason. He rode for Jason, when he was the one that brought, you're right. He is kind of the one that sparked this family. He's almost ahead of the table.
Right.
And, but think about the amount of lives that JD's touched. How many people that he's helped, and even, he's a tough bastard. Like, and why are people so hung up on his nipples, for God's sakes?
People are weird, man. I know
he pointed it out.
See, I know behind the scenes more than almost anybody, just really what JD's done for. I'm not talking about, like some, anybody of any persona online. I'm talking about your average Joe, random ass viewer. Like, people have no idea some of the shit he's done. And it's not my place to speak on that, but I've helped facilitate some things because of that man that is just, he doesn't have to do what he does. And he does it, with nothing wanted in return.
And that's the thing. It's, you don't really need, like, when you honestly want to help somebody, if you go out there motivated on just like, hey, look what I fucking did, like, then you're just a clown. It's like, to be honest, you're doing it for clicks. I know for a fact that there are things, these helpful moments that Jason has done for people, that JD has done for people, Roma, I'm sure, has done for people, Gooch has done for people. Like Ant pushed me out the fucking door. Basically, he would not let me doubt. Every time I was feeling doubt, Ant put a boot in my ass. He's been with me since day one of this thing. There are things that people, those little moments, bro, they mean the world to motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
And that's what helps me bring peace to myself. You know what I mean? It's just those little moments. And ever since I started doing this shit, I became more of a fucking religious person. Like, trust me, when you talk, I've talked to fucking evil, like unbridled fucking evil. You find God real fucking fast when you talk to that. I just love this community. I love the family we're building to become part of this something bigger. And that's what we strive for, is a commitment to something bigger than yourself.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think on that note, I know we've kind of been bouncing around crazy.
Yeah.
You know, why we should focus on ourselves is because there is some fucking unhinged people out there right now, destroying actively what they can of communities, doing crazy shit, going after police, going after federal police, doxing people, calling people Nazis, shooting at fucking men who deserve to be the fucking president, killing them, doing crazy shit. And Chris, I know we've passed our hour mark. I'm assuming we're probably going longer tonight, but a little bit longer. I do want us to watch the clip of last night. Nick Shirley interviewed Chandler, the head of Antifa, in Portland. And this dude, it struck me last night. It was late as hell when I watched this. Mountain time is pretty early for most people, like compared to everything else. And I couldn't tell you just how late, but it was definitely past midnight that I was watching this shit. And this dude legitimately, the way he speaks, not just like the way he uses his voice, like vocally, but the words he uses, all of this, like he tries to make this shit sound rational. He tries to make this shit sound okay. And in real life, it's not. I don't know if this is going to start playing right here. Right here is where he's reading off the definition of, I believe either Antifa or tyranny or some shit like that. I can't remember, but this is just fucking crazy. Like, and this is why we've got to do what we've got to do, because there are people like this man who are the quote unquote heads of these organizations that when people don't have a place to go and they end up getting doxxed and fucking harassed and driven crazy, they end up becoming scary people with scary ideas.
Yeah, man, for sure. Here, we'll take a start this up a little bit.
Yeah, when you guys yell fascism and whatnot, and you call
it's the only difference is quiet fascism versus loud fascism,
Nazis, right? And whatnot. I don't think you can classify Trump as somebody as evil as Hitler by any means.
So let's see. Key characteristics of fascism: extreme nationalism and militarism. The nation or state is considered supreme above the individual and is often promoted through aggressive militarism.
You hear the way he talks?
Authoritarian.
Why is he talking like this?
That's what I'm saying. He talks like he's some fucking like some.
Not you, dude. He sounds
it's
like
weird. I don't know how to, bro.
Hear ye, I decree. Like, right. Like, listen to this fucking lame ass. Like
this dude.
What'd you say, Cody?
In leadership.
How old is he?
Fucking in his 30s, I'm pretty sure.
He looks like a fucking kid.
Yeah. I mean, he
probably is, man. They grab these bastards young. Like a lot of them are they're like a lot of Antifa members are young ass college kids.
Yeah, young college kids.
Real young, bro.
Yep.
Single dictatorial leader has a centralized autocratic government, often leading a one-party state. Suppression of opposition. Dissent and political opposition are forcibly suppressed, and there is little to no tolerance for criticism or political disagreement. Social and economic regimentation. The government exercises strong control over society and the economy, often through corporate power and suppression of labor, to serve the interests of the state. Rejection of democracy and liberalism, but not in the modern sense of liberalism. Fascism stands in opposition to liberal democracy, individual rights, civil liberties, and pluralism. Liberal democracy is referring to neoliberalism as in like a free market economy, right? Where like...
Well, notice how when he's reading, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me, have you ever seen Frasier?
Yes.
He reminds me of his brother Niles. Like how he talks.
I haven't heard this. He had to stop that and redefine it because he said what he's talking about himself as a liberal.
Right.
And the state, their state, what they want. It's like you're listening about a definition of him, not Trump.
Right. I mean, this shit's crazy, dude. I'm telling you, it goes from this, and then there's a couple arrests, and then they interview. I believe it's his girlfriend. It's this. I'm pretty sure it's the same chick that Right Side Rebel snatched the mask off of and beat the brakes off of last weekend.
That's who she attacked?
I believe it's the same woman. I can't 100% verify it or not. I do know that this is one of the couple chicks that are always around this fucking motherfucker.
Cass, he is definitely wearing knight armor.
Oh, so he'll dress up. He dresses up in black bloc. Chandler does, and like he's a fucking dude's a character, man. But listen, this is the dude who's running Antifa in Portland.
This is the head guy.
This is the dude who has the safe house right off, just fucking 2 blocks down the road, right off the same road. And this is the big homie, bro. This is the keys to the yard. This is the fucking grand wizard of the fucking Antifa, bro.
Portland. No, he's a
Lord.
grand wizard, all right. Because they well, let's hear more from the Renaissance Fair doorman. Like
the government doesn't impose insane tariffs, for example. Belief in a natural hierarchy. There's often a belief in a natural social hierarchy in many historical examples, and in this case, it would be the citizenship thing, right? So those are just some examples, right, of possible traits that you could associate with fascism, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also need to remember Mussolini's definition of fascism. He called it corporatism, right? It is when the corporations own the economy in service of the state, and the state itself has a monopoly on violence and morality. Does that make sense? Do you see what is happening?
Yeah, but I don't think Trump's a fascist.
You still don't think Trump is a fascist, right?
No, I don't think our government's a fascist government. I don't think we have an authoritarian regime.
Why is that?
Trump will be out in 4 years.
Oh, really?
You think he's going to run for a third term?
So, it's not Trump, right? This is the problem that you're misunderstanding, right?
This is
He's
for everybody
melting
tuning
down.
in right now. This is the legendary. Everybody poops at Chandler. This is him right here. We have Chandler with us right now, and
right.
Chandler's wanted to let him give his own opinion.
Did you see where
he's been out here for? You've been the face front of this. I mean, you were just on Fox News.
What was that?
It's everybody poops at Chandler's because that's where all the Antifa people go to shit while they're fucking protesting, right? But did you hear? Was it just me or did he say eat poops at Chandler? Like maybe I'm being childish here, but that's what I fucking heard just now. But
I hope that is. Let's hashtag. We'll hashtag poop on Chandler. Is that what we're doing?
Everybody eats poops at Chandler. Eats poop at Chandler. Chandler's. Fuck, dude, it's a real thing. But no, there's been several right side media. There's been several just random people with a camera who aren't Antifa be like, "Hey, bro, can I use your bathroom since everybody shits at your house?" And he's like, "No." It would make
Mama
my
Cass
friends
is
feel
she's
uncomfortable.
unglued in here. Look at her over here. Yeah, she's gonna roll into that studio in a minute, dressed in full night regalia.
Yeah, she's not feeling too good. She's coming down with the same illness me and the baby has gotten. So I wouldn't put it past her, bro. She's
Hear ye.
Yeah, she's definitely on a good one.
Dude, this guy is gonna be wearing a powdered wig soon.
Dude, is it just me or the way he talks? He thinks he's like fucking FDR or fucking like I don't.
He just
I
sounds
can't
like a
place-
dickhead.
He's just the way it's the mannerism of like how he like the dude just seems like a. I don't even know how. I don't know how to explain it. I can't take it though.
Look at his face right now. He looks stressed.
right.
Even when he said, "I don't think Trump's a fascist," he's like, "Yeah, I decree this." This guy is fucking crazy, and he definitely strikes me as a carnival barker. Like step right up, like maybe not that, but like just it's something you would see at a Renaissance fair.
For sure, Renaissance fair for sure.
He is definitely there wearing a corset, fake cans. He's a
Fairy dust pouch.
Yeah. More ale.
They did a whole entire segment on you, whether you knew it or not. You let the other Oregonian go inside your apartment. A lot of people know about everyone poops at Chandler's.
Right.
People call the terrorists. I mean, you got a lot of people out here right now.
Oh, interesting fun fact.
You also have frogs.
As an aside here, right?
But we're going to move on in just a second, everybody.
There are no white supremacist organizations in the United States that are legally classified as terrorist organizations. Did you know that?
Sorry, say that again?
There are no white supremacist organizations in the United States that are legally classified as domestic terrorist organizations. Is that crazy? Isn't that crazy? There are so many white supremacist organizations that, like, are very, very much militant, organized, and cause real harm to many, many, many people, right? But none of them are legally classified as terrorist organizations.
Mm-hmm. I've never heard of any white supremacist groups here in the United States, like burning down buildings in cities or killing their opposition. I haven't heard anything like that.
Killing their opposition? Okay, so are you saying that there's some organization that does that?
Dude, like, this guy is on fucking drugs, bro.
Bro, they're all on them SSRIs, man.
It's my kids that say, crash out. Well, like, this dude is fucking.
Yeah.
He's like, can you understand this? You stupid.
Right.
It must be the fumes coming out of his bathroom.
Or bro, that and SSRIs, him and all of his fucking colleagues are on. Like, I don't know. He's cooked though, bro. Like, and he thinks he's just the smartest individual in the world, and it's like, bro, like,
you could tell on a base level, bro. Like this, just from what these couple minutes we've seen, this dude is a fucking total narcissist, God complex.
Oh yeah.
And this is a guy that, no disrespect to anybody that plays Dungeons and Dragons, this guy started off as a dungeon master somewhere and is now just running a terrorist organization. He is so full of himself. He probably rolls a D20 to make decisions. Like, and then you look in the background. Look at his fucking crowd. Like, there was a fucking lizard or something back there.
The
frogs, lizards. They had unicorns out. Last night was Halloween, so they had all the blowy dolls or blow up people. I don't know what you would call them.
Gas said he's still hiding his pornos. Like, yeah, he's got right underneath between the mattress. He still reads print because that's how, he's like, oh, who watches the internet? It's like, I read books. Like, he's got his Playgirls definitely between the mattress and the box spring.
He definitely does. Dude's he's a kook, man. And I think that this interview and there's a few others just really cement that if you're not brainwashed, like that, this dude is fucking out there.
Like, and you said they at some point, like, here, we'll fast forward a little bit.
All right, so it was here. Look, let me pull my phone out real quick, and I'll tell you where him and so Nick Shirley is trying to give a female who I believe is either his girlfriend or one of his like right-hand females, who I believe is the same chick who fought Right Side Rebel last week.
The one that Right Side Rebel smashed
fucking smashed that bitch out, bro. Was feeding them to her like she was fucking all you could eat fucking lunch.
Rebel tore into that crowd like a fucking New England hardcore mosh pit, fists and elbows. She smashed the fucking croissants out of that fucking person. Is that his girlfriend right there?
No, so that is I can't remember his name, but he is another patriot like Nick Shirley is fucking.
Oh, all right.
So, but it's with him. So my screenshot says it's around an hour and 55 minutes in, because it's an hour and 55 minutes in out of 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Wait, is she wearing a white?
You're gonna go back. It's like, I don't know why my phone did this at this particular time. Keep going. You're gonna be like within the first, it's maybe 10 minutes after the interview with Chandler. So it's going to be way at the big, like way back up front. Yeah, like somewhere around there. That's the chick in black block. So just if we can get to right, that's where it starts. He's arguing with this fucking idiot, which is funny as fuck. And then
I just want to put this out there, like, yeah, like for anybody sitting there saying that, that might think it's like, look, I'm a very independent thinking person. So is Trev. So is Cody. We're being very honest about these things. This has nothing to do with moderate Democrats or people left leaning. Antifa they don't represent those communities, despite what people think. They literally are self-serving. And just keep in mind that these are the same pieces of shit that they committed atrocity through Biden's presidency too.
Right.
They are not here. They don't care about America. They're here to destroy it. They're anarchists.
It's past anarchy, man. I think it's worse than that for sure. And this kook right here in the fucking camo rain jacket is a fucking head case.
Oh, look, yeah, I saw this a little bit. I was skimming earlier. Yeah, this guy is a weirdo.
Come here and cheerlead for the usurpation of all these people's civil rights, because that's what you're doing. You're acting in a coordinated manner to suppress their free speech. That's what you're doing. When you cross interstate commerce, let me fucking finish, okay? When you cross interstate commerce, okay? When you come here from another state and you act in a coordinated way to destroy a protest, you actually said on your live stream that you were here to dismantle Antifa. Guess what that is? USC 42, conspiracy against rights. But since you're dick riding the federal government, you're acting like a propaganda arm of the federal government. They're not.
What the fuck is he talking about? You're acting like the propaganda arm. This fucking jackass is over here. Check this guy's hard drive.
He is high, bro. That is
this guy he's cutting lines of fucking Drano and fucking testosterone is what maybe or estrogen.
There's no testosterone there, bro. That's all estrogen, homie. Like, look at the body build.
Backgrounds instead of fucking Huggies diapers, this weirdo.
This guy is a fucking holy shit.
I'm going to prosecute you for the federal crimes that all of you have committed. It's USC 42, conspiracy against rights. When you try to shut down a protest, when you come from another state, that is all federal crimes.
They took down. All of a sudden you want federal law enforced because it's against us rather than you.
Monopoly on the use of force, meaning nobody can defend themselves against a federal officer. You put your hand on one of them.
I have a suggestion.
You go to jail.
I have a suggestion.
You come here and attack people.
Typical fucking left-wing fanatic bullshit. Scream instead of conversate. Scream and just over and it's like, and there are conservatives too that play the same game. Yelling over somebody does not make you the winner in an argument. I mean, me personally, I like how wild this guy's getting. He would definitely catch a slap, at least.
Open
like,
hand.
calm down. But he's saying he's right. That guy he's talking to is correct. This guy's shouting about it's federal crime this, federal crime this, federal crime this. Coming from other states, okay, I can give you fucking 5 cities. What about Chaz? Remember Chaz? Anybody remember that when they just secured them in BLM? People were just coming from all over the West Coast to go hang out in that drug haven.
Yeah, it was bad.
We should have enforced crime. It's okay for me, but not for thee. I think that's basically their mantra.
So he's saying everybody that is trans-Tifa there is all Portlanders. None of them came from anywhere else.
So what the point we hopped in like right after he said this, but so the point he's getting at, he's not acknowledging that Antifa has been now deemed a terrorist organization.
Right.
But he says because people are coming from out of state and removing or helping ICE remove and the federal government remove their encampments that have been going up and down the streets in front of the ICE building for the last, 100, close to 150 days, that they committed a federal crime. Nevertheless, federal crime against a terrorist organization, I don't know if there's such a thing. I'm pretty sure that if they were legitimate peaceful protesters, he might be onto something, I guess. But when you've been labeled a terrorist organization, there is no fucking reason, or it doesn't fucking make sense. Look,
no, you could justify use of military force.
If I had the fucking money, bro, I would have fucking been there, fucking ripping that shit down with them. You know what I mean? Let me get on a plane. I'll rip their whole bullshit down.
So walking down the street, taking out the trash is a crime, huh?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and he's screaming at the top of his fucking lungs that Nick Shirley and the other, right wing, or, however they want to describe them, everybody's got their own way of saying it, protesters that are protesting Antifa are in the wrong because they are coming and tearing down their base camp, and they are coming from different states, which is a federal crime in order to do so. Dude's off his fucking rocker.
Oh yeah, this guy's
meds or too little.
He's fucking crackers for sure, bro. Like this guy, that when he went back to shit, when he took a shit at Chandler's, he definitely rocked himself, to sleep,
Get out of the way of the driveway. That's it. Then they won't use
prosecute you.
If you get out of the way and stop blocking the driveway.
I don't need a de-escalator. I don't need your help. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Okay. The answer isn't stop blocking the driveway. It's the government should stop committing ethnic cleansing. That's what. Yeah. Hey, do you know what the definition of ethnic cleansing is? It's when you deport and displace people based off of race and ethnicity. That is what they are doing.
Sending them back to their country.
You do not know what you're talking about.
Any of you
Do you know how many
she
people
absolutely has
are
no idea.
detained by ICE or DHS that have?
None of you are objective,
It's deporting and displacing also is part of ethnic cleansing. You should look things up before you assert them. So do you know how many people have a criminal record that are detained by ICE and DHS?
I don't know. By being in the country illegally, they have they're criminals. So.
Here's the thing about that. Like, the fact that they'll never recognize that crossing the border, our country's border, without the right documentation is a crime itself, right? Like, that's what makes you a criminal.
Right.
And it's not that it's a misdemeanor, it's a felony, and it can be pled to a misdemeanor. But I mean, that's baseline. This is what I haven't seen this. This is wild. You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, she acts like this is. There is so many more people getting deported, like, than people from Mexico. There are Chinese nationalists that are getting thrown out. Russians, French. Like, basically, if you're here illegally, I don't care what fucking part of the world, you're getting tossed the fuck out. That's what's happening. They're not like, and they're rallying for what? Fent dealers? I'm not all, and I say this, like, listen, like, some of the people that came here are trying to escape. They're or they're being tricked, to come here. Like, I don't think that they're bad people. Just use the door. Don't climb. If you guys were to come over my house, you're not climbing through the window.
No.
Just come, you knock on the front door, and we let you in. Then you apply for asylum like a normal person. Like, and the thing is I believe that they're just being fed misinformation. Some of the people coming across, they might not know how, and that's why we should have better people to help them get those things, like the proper information. Look at the biggest people that they ride on are fucking criminals, bro. Fent dealers, cartel bangers, what is wrong with you?
They're not picking people up from jobs that are not doing anything wrong.
No, and a lot of times they're working with some of these people. Like, I mean, but you know what? How fucking insulting and demeaning this is to people that came here. I have several friends that came from other countries. They did everything the right way. Paid, took the classes, did everything they could, and they run their businesses here. Like, they did everything. He served in the military. I know you had to have come across a couple of them. served in the military, did what they had to do to gain citizenship. And how fucking disrespectful it is to them. So what? Like, fuck them. Like, they're just out and they're just fucked over. Somebody else can just walk in and get it, get all the benefits. Or how about this? I'll throw one for you. When, like I've stated many times during this live, when you have these youngsters and these families that are suffering in fucking California, we're gonna leave them on the fucking street. That's not worth it. Or how about when they fucking block the VA, like the vets from getting their benefits out there? Palestine train derailment, Helene, from the hurricane, Maui. Like, we have our people dying too. But we got to go and shell out, and and on top of it, you don't think that when these fucking pieces of shit are out here burning shit down, that they don't fucking raise the cost of living in that area? Who the fucking pays that? Like, you're fucking stupid, bro. And they're shackles. Me and Trev talked about it earlier. There are high-profile people. Remember the LA ones when they set up? There was the pallets of bricks that just happened to just show up at a time. In like the aluminum piping.
Yep.
Like, damn, bro. Like, but yeah, Trev, this fucking lady who came in. She's wacky, bro. But these are dangerous individuals, bro.
That's why I'm saying they are fucking dangerous. Like,
to be clear, ethnic cleansing for Oxford, anyways, because I didn't know the actual definition is massive killing of members of one ethnic or religious group in an area by those of another. Period. Has nothing to do with deportation. I can't find it in 15 of them. Like,
of course not.
So wild that she acts. So that's the chick you're talking about that got the brakes beat.
I believe it's the same one because I need to do a little bit more digging into it, but I do know that is one of Chandler's like right-hand females that's always with him, and there's one that's always in Black Bloc, and she's in, you know what I mean? So I believe that is her, yeah.
And she's got Rick ready to shove down your throat.
Yeah, I mean, these people are all fucking crazy, man. I mean, it's
yeah, dude.
It's
for sure
evident that they are all fucking crazy. I don't know if it's the amount of SSRIs and fucking, depression meds that they're taking mixed with fucking a little bit of fucking Antifa fucking powder or whatever the fuck it is. I do know, if y'all go and check out JD's interview with the ex-Antifa member, he said that there was a particular drug trafficking organization that was working with Antifa and, supplying them their drugs. In fact, that is why the dude who introduced him to the real Antifa was getting gang stalked, was because he was selling drugs for this group. And so obviously a lot of these people are drug users. I mean, for fuck's sake, they're paying the ones that were staying out in the tents for 120 plus days outside of the ICE building. Like, it's been a known fact. Like, it has been said by them. I couldn't pull up the interview to tell you, but I've heard it. I've seen it on reels that a lot of these people are getting paid by drugs. Like, they're not getting paid.
Yeah, bro, and which is also fucking sick in its own way. Well, all right. Now, I've been there's a friend of mine, I can't name him on here, but he's been very helpful. The guy goes around, he researches cults. And this guy, his husband, he drives his husband crazy because he's just, he rides deep inside these, cult, like, he's curious. But he said that Antifa shares all the same attributes of every cult that he's ever had. They take broken individuals, people that are, remember, like, I mean, I know we joke that this is the tinfoil investment, but they take the hardcore in that. The ones that are so scared. Do you remember the cycle? You both probably remember. Remember the cycle of FEMA death camps.
Yeah,
that was like a scare that was going around in whatever. They made those basis claims, but they take the ones that were broken from that find those things and or people extremely bullied, victims of sexual abuse and complex traumas and stuff like that. They're just looking to belong to something,
right?
And
well, what I sorry to cut you off.
No, go for it.
Why I chose these clips out of this video and the one other I sent you was to show that like these motherfuckers or real think that they are sane, think that they are right, think that they are doing what they are supposed to do, that God's plan, whatever the fuck they want to call it. And it is scary. We talked about earlier, Paul's fucking radicalization. You cannot fucking tell me that any of these fucking nuts that we've just watched are not radicalized on the other end of the spectrum.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're polarized. Like, I mean, you're looking at both ends of the political spectrum.
Both ends of the spectrum. Yep.
These are the bookends. You know what I mean? And then, and honestly, bro, like I honestly believe that there's so many sensible, rational, moderate Democrats. There's so many people that even in the independent realm that disagree with each other on this or that. But then there are those that like these individuals just want to cause chaos. I honestly don't believe they even fall inside of a political spectrum. I think they pretend to.
Right.
But like all they do is cite big words because listen, not everybody in the world is the most educated, and I don't pretend to be, but I can also see with my own fucking eyes, bro, when you acting like a crazy, like, they just abuse. They try to beat you and just abuse you into submission.
Right.
Just by all they do is berate, and it's why. And you see, we live in a time frame where they're not even willing to have a conversation. Period.
They'll come 10 deep and jump you, though.
What's that?
I said they'll come 10 deep and jump you, though. Fucking Tommy Boy, another, one of the only patriots who's been frontline for I don't even know how long in fucking Portland. He's caught. I think he's at like 3 assault cases for protecting himself because they come up, snatch his phone, call him a bunch of crazy shit, put hands on him, try to jump him, 10 deep, and he's just knocking fools out. Like he's not playing their bullshit.
What is his It was that the guy that JD was talking about?
Yeah, so it's
the one that had his car smashed up.
Yep. So I can't remember his Twitter's like. Give me a second, and I'll be able to think of it. And I'm not sure if he has a YouTube or not, or if they took it down. But I know he has an X, and that's where he does most of his streaming. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because it's like Tommy something 420, like hold on.
Man, these people are on way more than just Prozac, though.
Bro, them SSRIs plus whatever that particular, I'm not going to go out and name the organization that dude said, but like whatever these people, drugs that they're pushing, plus the SSRIs these motherfuckers are on is a sick combo, bro. They are fucking... There's high and then there's high, bro. And these fools are high.
Hold on. Somebody had just texted me they wanted to post this full video. This is here. I'm dropping I dropped the full link in the chat. There you go. You could take a look. And plus I have it linked down below. That and JD's coverage of stuff. But what it like, how much backlash has JD faced like dealing with this?
I haven't seen a whole lot.
Did he like? Did his? Do they like?
They've already been doxing him and fuck, bro. I mean, sorry, I'm going in and out of fucking having a migraine here. It's also hard to see though with those sunglasses on. They've been hitting him with doxing, public threats, more that he hasn't talked about, so I don't want to talk about. But real,
right?
real,
Yeah,
over
yeah.
and over, you know what I mean?
But,
Like real shit, bro.
No, but like when him, I haven't been able to watch back when him and Valhalla went down there.
So I mean, it's a standard thing, bro. He wants to do one thing and one thing only, and that's here. Do you want a fucking platform of over 1 million to talk to, over 1.5 million to talk to, and let us know why you're out here and you feel like it's right to do what you're doing? And it's either fuck you, no comment, or you're a Nazi. You're, you know what I mean? You're fucking, crazy shit, or they know that he's got such a big presence and he streams on YouTube that there was some fucking, I don't know if it was a she, if it was a, I don't know, but somebody flashing genitalia like breasts, in not on JD's stream, but they've, I'm sure it's something that they plan to. They did that to Tommy Boy. I apologize, but going up and specifically saying the N word with the hard R to, the F word with hard R, words aren't fucking spelling isn't doing what it's supposed to do in my head right now. You know what I mean? But like using a bunch of slurs and shit, I just showed how smart I am. But yeah, they're they're doing what they can. It's like I said, it's either a fuck you, no comment, or screaming, throwing a fit, calling you a fucking Nazi piece of shit, saying that,
well, it's
you know
like
what I mean?
They're like a pull string doll, homie. Like they are like or like one of those like 90s action figures with 6 action phrases, and it's always the same. Like when they lose the argument, you're just like, fuck you. Like you hate African Americans. Like that, it's like no, nobody does, bro.
Well, so the crazy thing is, right, is they claim that they don't like Nazis and they don't like racists, and that's another one they've been using as racist.
Oh my god,
with JD. But man, how the fuck are you gonna tell me you don't like racists, you don't like fucking you don't like all these people, but you're gonna go and consistently fucking drop the N word with a hard R, or what, say all this crazy ass shit over and 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 over.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you just fucking that stupid? Like, what the fuck is your issue? Do you not understand that by you saying that, you in fact are acting like what you're supposedly opposing so hard? Like, these people are not smart, you guys. And it's sad. What's really scary and what's really sad is we've had to get to the point to where we've said, hey, these are a terrorist organization. Obviously, they're willing to show a little bit of violence, right? Whatever. Not a whole lot.
Well, they've definitely up there. They really, because if you think about, all right, outside of base, the rioting, which has always been, they've always been known for property damage, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I would say in the last couple of years, you're seeing more violence done to people.
Oh, for sure.
Them assaulting individuals, soft targets, always. In some cases, unless they got the numbers
through cop car windows, off overpasses, you know what I mean? All sorts of shit.
Yeah, like, and you know what? And I know there was recently some arrests. They I know the FBI did a press conference. I think Patel was up there doing something recently, and what we have to these people need to be stopped. And honestly, I really do hope that they get the proper help they need, because there's a lot of
in a mental asylum, bro. 90% of these people, 95% of these people.
But all right, think about it this way. It was, if you look at it in the cult, cult level. Heaven's Gate, Doe was a fucking maniac, complete psychopath. So was T, his cohort there. They groomed and manipulated all of these individuals. Like, were they out? They're not the same. They weren't out committing crimes, but Doe was absolutely a criminal. Or look at Jim Jones. Like,
right. For sure.
You take people that are broken. Like, I don't fault them. The sheep, bro, the ones that come in because they're being manipulated, and it's a lot of gaslighting and emotional blackmail. And so, like, I hope that they find the proper help that they need, bro. Like, and we could be that for them. If any of the ones that are just starting to circle it, don't go to any extremist group. I don't give a fuck. The same thing. I would be talking this shit about you too. Like, if you were out there causing chaos, as a right-wing extremist group and you were harming individuals, you'd get called the fuck out. But it's okay. Like, if anybody that comes across this in the future, just DM one of us if you're willing to sit down. Me and Trev will even change your voice. We won't even put your face on the screen.
Right. Whatever makes you most comfortable.
And we won't do this live. We won't do it live with you. We'll pre-record it. And we'll make sure that you're protected too.
Yep.
We just want to know the why. Understand, like, the why. But guys like that, like Niles Crane, that was over here citing off of his D&D campaign book. That guy's he is somebody that should do the rest of his life in a hole.
He needs to be put into a fucking, I don't know what they call him anywhere else, but they need to put him in Colorado. We call it the state hospital. It's the, it's prison, but it's for head.
I'm willing to bet that more than one of these motherfuckers had taken a trip to Toontown at least once in their life.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, if I think we've been kind of going at it back and forth. We covered a lot of things on this thing, but we're gonna get deeper in this. We celebrated Halloween. Like, pretty heavy, like, but no, like, seriously, if somebody wants to come out and wants to sit with me and Trev, we'll take care of it. We'll make sure you're protected. We'll do what we have to. Reach out. You can DM me up on Instagram, but if you're disrespectful, I'm gonna match your energy tenfold. So we can get the angry parts out, and then we can talk with civility afterwards.
Right.
But like, beyond everything, we're still Americans. We're still part of, like, humanity. Like, stop being a dickhead. Put your ego down and have a conversation. So we have Wednesday night, November 5th, Wednesday night, me at 5:00, me, Aunt Arillotta, Louis Casman, John Gotti's adopted son, doing the first live sit down on Money, Mayhem, and the Mafia. November 9th, Chloe Roma, me, Trev, live.
Yeah, sir.
Chloe fucking Roma. And that is gonna be fucking crazy. And then who else we got? What else we got in the work? November 11th, me and Anthony Arillotta, we're hitting up a big podcast. We'll let you know as that unfolds. So there's a lot of big things in the works. A lot of big stuff coming. We got Gypsy Crusader will be dropping later on this month. So keep an eye out for that. Is there anything else we wanted to plug?
I mean, we definitely have something going on with JD Delay here, probably before the end of the year. I don't know if it'll be a live reaction, if it'll be a screen recording, if it'll be an interview. He's kind of down to do with whatever we want to do. So maybe that's a poll we can take with the community and see what they would like to see.
Yeah. We got some more Mafia content. It's coming. We got mob guests coming. Paul's going to be our season finale of the interview cycle, but we got some great, I promise you, the next cycle, it's going to shake the fucking ground. Like, we have everything over here. Like, so we're gonna take off. Brother Cody, like, is this our brother in arms, court of bones. Like, we handle. We're gonna get into some really fringe and crazy topics. That's definitely happening.
Also discussed really quick, not to cut you off, sorry. But we also discussed me, Trevor, and Chris kind of getting into my story, so you guys all know a little bit more about me, and a little bit more in detail about everything that's going on. And I appreciate all y'all. And for those who were in here when I first said something about my liver, if none of you guys, I don't even know if we've ever brought this up, but I'm currently on the transplant list to have a liver transplant. So when I said my liver's it's kicking my ass, like it literally is not functioning well. But my boy Trevor, he's like right down the road from me. He always makes sure I'm at least upright during the day.
Yeah, once a day or so.
Yeah. But we've all discussed like, hey, sitting down and kind of doing a sit down multiple different ways so that you guys can all get to know a little bit more about me in detail. Not just my opinions on things, but me as a story, I guess. So, but I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. If you haven't seen it, Sin and Sacrifice, that's part 1 has already been up. You can find it in our live cycle. I think I might have moved it into the playlist as well for interviews. Who the hell wouldn't want to hear a story about a 2-time Purple Heart recipient, combat veteran, what it takes going in, that shit for real. Like,
and I'm sure part 2 is going to be just as crazy for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. It's absolutely going to get crazy.
I already know this story, so y'all better be ready.
Oh, yeah. If you up in Connecticut, in December, me, Brother Trev, Sister Amy, we're going to be here. Come out, meet us, hang out with us. We're going to an event at Commissioner's Lounge. We're hanging with Chaz Palminteri. If you're not familiar with that, it's the guy from A Bronx Tale. Maybe we can get Brother Cody out here too. We'll figure the whole thing out. So we got that event coming up. That's only in a couple weeks, and we are putting together a raise some money for like the season of giving. We're gonna give some shit back. Hopefully we're gonna come together and we're gonna donate to the homeless shelter out this way date. So we're gonna put together a GoFundMe for that. And yeah, I fucking we absolutely love you guys, all of you, everybody that's come in, out. You'll find this later on. Even if you didn't watch us live, I know a lot of you are gonna watch it later on. Like if you're struggling with any bullshit, you have Woolkit Crossroads that in my area, the link listed below. You have the links for Alaskan Hardcore Recovery and Hardcore Recovery, which is founded by JD DeLay. These are not paid sponsorships, just shit that we believe in. And you also have Black Poster Project that was brought to us. We learned about it through Johnny Alite. With D. Gillen, it's a really significant. It's a significant thing. Get involved in these things, and I see. Just before I see, we got Brother Joe in the house. He might slip in on the way out to talk about how he actually loves bump stocks. If you haven't seen the exchange from the Vegas Live, we're gonna get Brother Joe on here with us, and we're gonna talk more insight on the Vegas shooting coming up in the future. But we love you guys. If you're struggling with any bullshit, just I will respond. Trev will respond.
Yep.
Cody will respond. Trust me, it's not we're still small enough where it's easy to get a hold of us, but we'll make ourselves accessible. So if you're struggling with some bullshit, DM us and we'll get it fixed, or at least try to help you. We're not paying your bills though. Just keep that in mind.
For sure. Can't do that. Sorry.
Yeah. So all right. With that being said, anything you want to add on the way out, bro?
Fucking smoke brisket, not crack. Fuck Antifa. Mossad, stop fucking with my phone. That's about all I got, brother. You know what I mean? That's about all I got for the night. Shit, I'm ready to go to bed.
Fuck Antifa. Yup.
All right, so we're going to take you out, let you watch one more time on the way out, November 9th, me, Brother Trev, Chloe Roma. We're going to kick some fucking serious ass. And fucking love you guys. We're out.
Later.
Troubling new data from the U.S. government today shows more than 49,000 people have committed suicide in the United States this year.
1,058 people committed suicide last year, making Colorado 7th worst in the country. Men account for 75%.
I'm tired of people asking, why bother? Why advocate for men?
Have been. I feel like men have always, because if you look at what like the alpha male is, it's
Designed for single fathers to fail.
Today, investigators announced arrests in connection with the killing of 12-year-old Jacqueline Torres Garcia.
Women are the #1 killers of their children in America every year. They are the most to abuse their children and the most to kill
Girl's
them.
mother, Carla Garcia, and charged her with murder.
I not only grew up in social services, but I grew up on the streets. And where I'm from, if you're a woman on the streets, you either man the fuck up or you get pimped out. You're very abrasive and disrespectful, and I'm the wrong fucking one.
If there's somebody watching this video right now who feels the same way I do, but maybe you are not alone, okay? I know that every single day is a struggle, and I encourage you, I implore you, and I beg you to please continue pushing
Know me, but my name is Roma, and I am your big sister now.